Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your
the leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Wow. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to it, the Thursday edition of the program, where we continue to take the left to school, exposing them for who and what they really are, all while arming the hardworking people of this country like you and me with knowledge we need to hold our elected officials accountable. But fear not, unlike those leftist professors out there in academia, you will find no safe zones here. Why? Because we believe in the First Amendment. If you would like to connect with the show, you can do so in a number of ways. We are on the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are welcome to push me an email anytime you would like. I do my best to respond to each and every one of those. Sometimes time doesn't allow, but I promise you I do read them. Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com is how you would achieve that. And then we are on Twitter at @TheGM Show. If you would head out there and give us a follow, boy, we sure would appreciate that. I like to get on the Twitter and go a little tongue-in-cheek at times, a lot of sarcasm, as I send out articles that I find are relevant to what we're doing. It is a busy, busy day in the world of news talk, and let's just delve right in. The State Department has come out and admitted that the footage on the Iran deal was intentionally deleted. Now, if you remember what happened with this Ben Rhodes, a senior foreign policy advisor to Barack Obama, did an interview with the New York Times, and he said, "Look, we pulled the okie dokie over on these people. We hoodwinked everybody on this deal because negotiations didn't start on this Iran deal when the regime change happened. That's just how we sold it to the people. The negotiations actually started years before this. That's just how we sold it so that people would be more accepting of the president's deal. And we had a press corps that was young and naive, and we told them whatever we wanted to, and they went out there and echoed it as if they were truth. They didn't do their due diligence. They didn't research it. Even the senior members of the White House press corps didn't research it. Whatever we told them, it turned into an echo chamber. And this fired a lot of people up, and Fox News realized that there was an interview with the State Department spokesperson before the regime change that swore up and down that there were no negotiations happening. Well, after this Ben Rhodes deal broke, that footage got deleted from the YouTube account that the government uses, and it got deleted from the State Department archives. And the administration just played dumb. Well, we don't know what happened. There must be a glitch. We're going to work on it. We're going to figure that out. We have no idea what happened. Well, Wednesday, an official with the State Department acknowledged that another official intentionally deleted several minutes of video footage from that 2013 briefing where a top spokeswoman seemed to acknowledge misleading the press over the Iran nuclear deal. Quote, "There was a deliberate request to delete the footage. This wasn't a technical glitch." This comes from John Kirby, the State Department spokesperson. And he admitted that an unidentified official had a video editor excise the segment. Why does this matter to us? Why is this important? Why do we care that this administration deleted that footage? I mean, the news stations have it. Fox News has it. Why do we care? We care because this administration has come out and claimed they are the most transparent administration this country has ever seen. They're for the people, and they want the people to know what's going on. Meanwhile, this president is negotiating with the world's largest sponsor of terrorism, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, a known enemy to the United States, a sworn enemy to Israel, our strongest democratic ally in the Middle East. And we don't negotiate with terrorists. Isn't that right? Isn't that the mantra that we have always lived by? We don't negotiate with terrorists. But this president is so set on a one world government. He's so set in injecting his morale, his values, his ideals into the way America goes about its business, that he was so set on this, he was willing to negotiate with a terrorist. And he did so successfully. He did so by dodging the checks and balances in this Constitution that we live by, the agreement between the government and its people, the contract. And he goes out there and he calls it a deal instead of a treaty so that it doesn't have to be checked and approved by Congress. He wants it to be a deal. And the deal is horrible. We've talked about it over and over again, just how bad this deal is. It's so bad that the president won't release it. It's under lock and key at the Capitol. You have to have security clearance of a congressperson or a top aide just to be able to look at it. No pictures, no copies. It can't be removed. It is what it is. But this president wants to convince you that he's got your best interest in mind, that he's transparent, he's up front. He's all honest Abe the second. Well, if all of that's true, why are these shady games going on? Why does this happen? If everything's on the up and up, and this truly is a good deal for us, and this truly is a good thing, and it's a step towards peace. Everybody wants peace. Nobody wants war. Sometimes it's a necessary evil, but we'd much rather live in peaceful and prosperous times. History has shown that the world is peaceful and prosperous when America is the big dog on the block. But that's of no concern to this president. He's stripped our military. But I digress. If this is such a good deal, why not be transparent? The same transparency you claim this administration is through and through. In all accounts, in all accords, we're transparent. We're for the people. Why not show us the deal? Why not be honest about it? Why delete videos? Why lie? When people start deceiving other people, it's because they have something to hide. Every lie means there's something you don't want to tell. Every hoodwink, every misdirection, every act of deception means there's something you don't want the other person to know. It's an absolute truth. Now, I can see the wheels spinning. Well, some of you would say, well, what about that guy at the bar that swore he hit 6 home runs in one World Series game and he hadn't been off that stool in 40 years? He doesn't want you to know that he's insecure and wants your approval. There's always something they don't want you to know. That's what dishonest people do. And this president is absolutely out of control. And what are the consequences for this? There will be none. There will be none. That's why they came out and said, yeah, we did it. We did it. We gave the directive to delete this video. that was evidence to back Ben Rhodes' testimony to the New York Times. But, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. There seems to be a lot of this going on with this president, doesn't there? The disregard for transparency, even though he claims he's the most transparent president and has the most transparent administration in the history of this country. The whole Hillary Clinton email deal. Even if, and this is a big hypothetical that's simply not true, but even if there were no legal violations with the Espionage Act, so on and so forth, with Hillary Clinton's emails, she still didn't turn over that information when she was told. She still hasn't turned over all the information today. There are still missing emails. And when she left office, all of that was supposed to be turned over, it was supposed to be documented, and it was supposed to be filed. That's part of Barack Obama's administration. But anytime he's asked about it, anytime he's asked to be held to account for what goes on his watch, he's nowhere to be found. I'm not taking that question. I'm not commenting on that. True leaders stand up for their team. When something goes bad, they take the heat. It's their fault, whether it's theirs or not, because you are captain of the team. And that's what leaders are supposed to do. He's not a leader. He's a phony. He's a coward. There was a time I would have told you, Barack Obama's a smart guy. He really is. And we just don't see the world in the same way. He has his policies, I have mine. But the guy loves America. And so do I. And we're probably going to have to just agree to disagree. Not that the president knows who I am, but that's what I thought of the guy. And I thought, you know what, if I'm not happy with the policies, then maybe we need to do something on my side of the fence to win an election. Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to make sure we put the right guy out there to win so this doesn't happen. I no longer have that stance. I believe wholeheartedly this president has an agenda. And his agenda is a one world government. His agenda is a socialistic world, not just country, world, where borders and culture don't mean anything, where the safety of this country and the safety of the citizens of this country are not important to him, where military shouldn't exist, even though we have these extreme tyrants out there. He's lost all my confidence that he is not a good president, because I don't think that was ever in question. He's not. But that he even loves this country. I am telling you right now, history will judge this president, and he will go down as the worst president in the history of this country. Jimmy Carter takes a back seat to this guy. Head and shoulders a back seat. Some of those one-term or half-a-term presidents that landed here and there that history really doesn't remember, they're nowhere to be found in this conversation. Barack Obama is numero uno when it comes to the worst we've ever seen. I would say he's incompetent, but he has the intellectual capacity. I mean, the guy graduated from Harvard Law School. But I've said it oftentimes about people with PhDs, with doctorate degrees. There are a lot of idiots who sign their name, PhD. A lot of them. There are a lot of savants that are so great in their field, but when it comes to common sense, they can't find it. Education's a product of opportunity, not of intelligence. I say that holding a doctorate degree. It doesn't mean I'm smarter than somebody who barely finished high school or didn't finish high school at all. It means I had the opportunity to go on and get educated. That's all that means. Sure, it takes a little intellect to navigate the waters, but it doesn't take an extraordinary amount. It doesn't take this intellectual capacity that's off the charts the way those that hold the degree would make you think. But Harvard Law School's tough. It is. That's why everybody wants in, and when you graduate, it's something special. No question about it. And so I thought, well, man, this guy's got a little something between his ears. He's just a liberal. No. And my buddy Chris Salcedo, he hosts a talk show on the Blaze on the weekends, and then he's here in Dallas and Houston as well. He has this axiom on his show: liberals would be funny if they weren't in charge, if they didn't have power. And it's true. If this guy was spouting this rhetoric and didn't have the control to pull some of this off, we would just laugh at him. It would be lunacy. It would be craziness. The problem is he's the most powerful man in the world. And we gave that to him. We went to the ballot box 4 years ago and 8 years ago, and we gave him that power. I wish we hadn't. I wish we hadn't, because this country is not better off because of him. This country isn't even equal to when he started. We have dropped from where we were, from the baseline of his start, just a great deal. I mean, the fall has been drastic. And it's precipitously getting worse. It just compounds itself. And now that he's a lame duck with one foot out the door and he's on this apology tour, apologizing for America's exceptionalism and moving about, it's getting bad. He is setting us up for failure. He's setting us up for disaster. He is setting up his successor for failure. Now just think for a moment. What if Hillary Clinton got in there? First off, she's not set up for success. Even in a Democrat's eyes, even in a liberal state of mind, this is out of control. You can't tell me that what he's doing is good. You can't tell me that what he's doing is right. And just like every person that has screwed something up drastically, he doesn't want to take responsibility. He's in denial. And we're going to talk about that denial next. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Hey, if you're looking for the show, you can find it each and every weekday at 5 p.m. Central on ConservativeRadioNetwork.com. We're on the 405 Media, K98 Talk, High Plains Radio, and Sackheads Radio Media as well. And special thanks to those guys for including us in their offering. It means more than you know. You can also find the show on demand, iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play. And then each and every Saturday night, we're on News and Information 570 KLIF in Dallas-Fort Worth at 8 p.m. on Saturday nights. If you're outside Dallas-Fort Worth, fear not, you can still get the show. It is on the 405 Media and ConservativeRadioNetwork.com. So special thanks to Ron and John for carrying that for us. It means the world to us. And the reason we work on Saturdays, on Saturday night, and when we do the live show is it gives you an opportunity, the listener, to be a part of the program. It's the one time in the week you can pick up the phone, you can call us no matter where you're at in the country and say, hey, I disagree, Gavin, or man, you're right on. Let me tell you my experience, whatever the case is. That's why we do it, is so you can participate. So I encourage you, tune in, give us a call, shoot us an email during the show. We would love to hear from you. Also, do not forget, hashtag Red Nation Rising. July 4th, that will launch. Conservative Radio Network and Red Nation Rising are partnering up to use the platforms both have to spread the conservative word. And we are honored to be a part of that. A lot of people have worked very hard. There are some very talented podcasts going out there. And it is going to be the official radio station of Red Nation Rising. And so you want to be a part of this when this thing kicks off. Hashtag Red Nation Rising. All 50 states have a Red Nation Rising Twitter account. There's a master Twitter account. The hashtag is incredibly popular, over 1 billion impressions a month. And so with all that said, Conservative Radio Network is now partnered with them. They are pushing forward and great things to come. You want to be a part of this from the ground up, and it's no coincidence this thing is launching July 4th on Independence Day. And so it's a great honor for us here at the Gavin Mitchell Show to be a part of that. I'm going to continue with this president, and I want to ask you this. How do we measure the economy? How do we know if the economy's doing well? How do we know if the economy's doing bad? And what does that even mean, the economy? What's that about? Well, I want to unpack it a little bit for you. We measure economy realistically in two ways. There's only two ways that matter. GDP, which is gross domestic product. And what that does in layman's terms is it balances the exports with the imports. Right? There's a balancing act there, and it determines what is it we're exporting? What is our gross product? But when you balance it with the imports, then if you're running at a deficit, that's a bad thing. If you're running at a surplus, if you're above the break-even line when it comes to exports and imports on a dollar value, you're doing well. And so GDP is just a gross domestic product of, it's our production measure is what it is. And there are a couple ways to do that, right? Don't let people fool you and say, oh, it's too complicated to understand. The math itself is it's intermediate level math. It's not something that is so difficult to wrap your mind around, but it's unnecessary. If you just understand the concept and look at the numbers, it becomes pretty obvious what it is. And gross domestic product is just, it's the way we measure our production. And then they do it with exports, and then you balance it against imports, and I've said that. The other way is the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is what's important. Now, the unemployment rate is deceptive. Because in order to log oneself onto the unemployment rate, you have to meet certain criteria. You have to be actively looking for full-time work within the last 6 months. That's how you get counted in the unemployment pool. And so when you see unemployment at, let's say, 5%, which is really good, that means everybody that, quote, wants a job has a job. And those that don't have a job want a job and are actively looking. And when you run those numbers, 95% have a full-time job and 5% don't. Where the deception comes in with unemployment numbers is that people give up. People lose faith. People will take a part-time job just to make ends meet. And all of that pulls them out of that unemployment number. It's not a true measure. It's deceptive. And then I guess there's a third way to measure the economy. And if you look at the Fed rate, you always hear this interest rate going up or down. Are they going to raise it? Are they not? So on and so forth. The effect on that is onefold. It just comes down to how expensive is money going to be? What's the cost of money? What are the percentage rates for borrowing money? And the way that works out is if interest rates go up 0.5%, if the Fed raises interest rates, that means the note or the bond or the treasury or whatever, the bill, United States treasuries will go up. And everything is tied to that if a United States treasury is the underlying. And so your mortgage rates go up. The cost of borrowing money goes up. Things like that. And the higher and more expensive it is to borrow money, people think the better the economy is doing, because if the economy is not doing well, the Fed will lower that rate and they'll make money less expensive to get. That way they inject money into the economy. If it's cheaper, you're going to go get it. And then money starts flying around, more jobs are created. That's the idea behind it. The danger behind keeping rates artificially low is inflation and then hyperinflation. And you know about that. But those are the measures of the economy. If you look at the numbers, this president is failing and failing miserably. Look at the national debt. Now, I have my qualms with the measure of national debt, but that's not important. This president has tacked on more to the national debt than any other president in history. And that's dollar for dollar. That counts inflation. Right? He has spent more money that we don't have. We have unfunded liabilities, and all of it, not all of it, that's not true. The majority of it is this president's fault. Well, he has come out and he has accused the right-wing talk radio and cable channels of angering white people in America about the economy. And he claims that it's actually doing really well under his administration. Quote, their basic message is anti-government, anti-immigration, anti-trade, and let's face it, it's anti-change. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, when we open up our borders and companies flee to Mexico because it's cheaper to make stuff there and there's no penalty for them bringing it back, and the only cost of this to anybody is Americans losing job, I'm anti-free trade. You bet I am. Anti-immigration, I'm anti-illegal immigration. I'm anti-forced immigration. You bet. Anti-government, Tell me the last time the government did something good. Ever. I've said it before. I had a finance professor in my undergraduate work. He used to come in and say the government couldn't organize a good game of jacks. That's a fact. If you work for the government, I'm going to apologize to you in advance. But the best and brightest don't work for the government because they don't pay enough. The best and the brightest go out to the private sector and work there because they can be paid what they're worth. The government gets the leftovers. This administration is evidence of that. An anti-change. If you mean migrating from our biblical principles that we hold dear, if you mean compromising our morals, you bet I'm anti-change. In a heartbeat, I'm anti-change. And so, yeah, we're on the same page so far. What they're saying isn't true, says Obama. And he complained that people failed to recognize that he was improving the economy, cutting the deficit and cutting spending. Hogwash. Plain and simple, hogwash. It's the story that is broadcast every day on some cable news stations, on right-wing radio. It's pumped into cars and bars and VFW halls. Do you see the racial tones there? Bars and VFW. He's taking a shot at the rednecks. I happen to be country, and I don't appreciate that. We should stage a protest. Let's do it. Outside the White House, we're going to protest. Redneck Lives Matter. That's what it's going to be called. All across America, and right here in Elkhart. Now, he was up in Elkhart, and this is up in Matt Locke's neck of the woods. I don't know if he attended this Dog and Pony show. I don't think he did, but this is up in his neck of the woods. If you're hearing that story all the time, you start believing it, or we look at the facts. It's no wonder people start thinking big government is the problem. Huh? I haven't started thinking big government is the problem. I have known for a very long time big government is the problem. White Americans think that reverse discrimination is as big a problem as discrimination against minorities. There it is, the race card. It always comes back to the race card, doesn't it? It seems to be the theme with this president. I don't think reverse discrimination is a problem. I don't think racism is the problem that the left makes it out to be. What I think is the problem, and hold on, before you start firing up your emails and shutting off the radio, I think the problem is hypersensitivity. I think the problem is political correctness. Facts aren't racist. The truth isn't racist. And if you can't accept that, and you're one of these victims, like that clown we talked about yesterday at ESPN, that had nothing to do with race. But it was awful convenient for this black man to play the race card, wasn't it? Why? Because the tone and the climate in this country is such that that's almost the ultimate insult. You're a racist. Well, that'll shut people down quickly because you don't want to. Nobody desires to be a racist. Nobody with half a brain wants to be a racist. And that insinuation makes you step back, and with a reasonable person will say, well, wait a second, how could that have been interpreted as racist? And you think about it, and so you may abandon your argument. It's their get-out-of-jail-free card. It's their Hail Mary. It's their atomic bomb. And let me be clear, not every minority does this. The majority of minorities in this country agree with me that this is a huge problem. It's not always about race. Sometimes what you're doing is just wrong. And you could be black, white, green, yellow, blue. It doesn't matter. You're going to face the same consequences. But we have this small faction in this country that has been enabled by this president to say, yeah, no, it's because of my skin color. And they buy into it. And they lash out and they have these outbursts. It's not the majority of people. The majority of people in this country are good. They're hardworking. They're law-abiding. They're patriots. But this president, in his move, his venture to indoctrinate the people of this country with his rhetoric, with his doctrine, it's taken hold to some of the weak-minded. And I'm reminded of one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies, from Lonesome Dove. Oh, Augustus McCrae's sitting there, and he says, boys, what's good for me isn't necessarily good for the weak-minded. What he's doing isn't good for the weak-minded. Those that'll believe anything he says because he's president, he's a human being just like I am. He's a human being just like you are. I'm over time. Hey, coming back, we're going to get into some of this Muslim situation. The Muslims are speaking out against ISIS. You're not going to believe it. Hang tight.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, themattlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at themattlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on themattlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
So this president we have, Barack Hussein Obama, needs to take a play out of this guy's playbook. He is the head of religion. He's the BBC's Muslim head of religion. And BBC is the PBS of the UK, right? It's the taxpayer-funded broadcasters, whatever. Professor Aqil Ahmed, he was speaking at an event at Huddersfield University. And he was talking about the BBC's insistence on calling ISIS, which is the Islamic State terrorist organization, the quote so-called Islamic State. And that's kind of what they were discussing. Quote, you wouldn't say so-called Huddersfield University, questions barista Neil Anderson during the event organized by the Center for Religious Literacy and Journalism. Well, Mr. Ahmed replied, I hear so many people say ISIS has nothing to do with Islam. Of course it has. What? This is not the rhetoric and the narrative we have picked up from our administration and our leaders. They're not preaching Judaism. It might be wrong, but what they are saying is an ideology based on some form of Islamic doctrine. They are Muslims. That is a fact. And we have to get our head around some very uncomfortable things. That is where the difficulty comes in for many journalists because the vast majority of Muslims won't agree with them. Man, this is heavy hitting for this administration because here is a Muslim. He is in charge of religion for the BBC. Saying, if you do not believe ISIS isn't Islamic, isn't Muslim, you're a clown. Now, it may be a distorted form of Islam, but they're Islamic. There's no two ways about it. Quit calling them so-called. They are the Islamic State. They are Muslims. Now, Muslims may not agree. The majority of Muslims in the world may not agree with their ways, but they are what they are. It shouldn't matter if it's offensive to other people. I'm blown away by this. I'm blown away that there is somebody out there with the proper credentials, and he's not the only one, but stands up and says, no, this political correctness is blasphemy. It's misleading, it's deceptive, and it's dangerous. Islamic State. They're Muslims. Don't kid yourself otherwise. Now, you take what this guy said. He's a Muslim. And equate it to what this president of ours has said. He refuses to say Islamic radical terrorism. He refuses to put those words together. But this guy's a Muslim, and he said, yeah, don't kid yourself. That's a fact. That is a fact, Jack. And it just goes back to what I've been saying this entire program, the entire theme. This president has an agenda. And American exceptionalism isn't one of them. American safety isn't one of them. American dominance isn't one of them. None of those things register on this president's radar. None of them. He claims he's a Christian, and I had to skip over an article with the transgender bathrooms. Well, my Christian faith, when I read it, the golden rule is pretty high up there. But what this president fails to recognize is that our God is perfect. Our God is all-knowing, and he's all-present. And he doesn't make mistakes. And so the very concept that God made a mistake and you're somehow a man trapped in a woman's body or vice versa, that goes against Christianity. I'm not judging the person. We're all sinners, all of us. There are no exceptions on the face of the earth. We all fall short of the standard. I'm not judging them. I'm just not going to promote that action. I'm just not. And so to take what we know to be sin, this is no different than trying to accommodate a liar, a murderer. Name any sin you want to. And trying to make them feel good. Make them feel like they fit in with their sin. That's not it. That's not how this game works. This is the very reason Jesus flipped tables at the temple. This president doesn't have a clue. It doesn't seem he has a clue about much. Now, coming up next, I want to deviate from the president and this administration. I've had enough. I'm getting sick of it. I want to talk a little bit about a school here in the Dallas area deciding that nobody should feel inferior, not even at graduation. And a blind man has followed a lawsuit for discrimination. You're not going to guess why, coming up next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity, lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
I want to bring it a little local here, at least local for me. Just north of Dallas is a community called Plano. And Plano's got a little cash to fold, if you know what I mean. They're not hurting up there in Plano. A lot of professional athletes, things of that nature. And Plano has grown, and it's grown like crazy. They have 3 senior high schools, and they probably need more. But at Plano Senior High, not at the other 2, Plano Senior High, a ruling by the school has been handed down saying that, look, even if you are a National Honor Society member, you have graduated. We all remember in high school, they had those collars, the white collars they would put with added to their regalia. And then those that got different honors would have the ropes and things like that. It's part of the tradition. They decided that no one is going to be able to wear that collar, and nothing will be allowed that will distinguish individual honors during graduation because they want to avoid hurt feelings. It's real. It's real. I don't even know what to say to that. A kid works hard. Perhaps they don't play football, they don't play basketball, they're not in the chess club, they don't do band, whatever. Perhaps academics is their thing. The athletes get letter jackets to display their achievements. The band does too. If you're an academic, if that's what you do, if that's your wheelhouse, if that's your passion, and you have worked hard to achieve this honor, because this honor isn't just keeping your grades up. There's a community service aspect to it as well. I don't know. I wasn't a part of it. I wasn't smart enough, I don't guess. But there's a community service. This is an honor. And to strip these kids away, this is the very inverse of the participation trophy, where you did nothing to earn the trophy, but you get it anyway. This is those that earned it. They're taking their trophy away. And the worst part is it's a single school. It's not a school district. Shame on Plano Senior High. From the bottom of my heart, shame on Plano Senior High. I want to close the show out with this. A blind man, 35 years old, has filed a lawsuit in Chicago federal court because his inability to walk up to the drive-thru at McDonald's late night. Now, many of these McDonald's are open late night, I suppose. I don't eat McDonald's. Not that I'm too good for McDonald's. I just don't. Many of the McDonald's are open late night, but only through the drive-thru. You can't go into the store. Well, because he's blind, he feels that's discriminatory, and so he's filed suit. And his lawyer has said that his client's right to order a late-night meal is a quintessentially American activity that should not be denied because someone of their disability. Well, what's the solution? He wants to be able to walk up to the drive-thru. It's called a drive-thru. It's not called a walk-up window. It's called a drive-thru. And because he's blind, he can't drive. But for some reason, he feels that it's okay to be out all hours of the night to go get him some McDonald's. I don't know. I was always taught nothing good happens after midnight. Maybe you shouldn't be out. But he wants the ability to walk up, a blind man, walk up to the drive-thru window, and he feels that's safe and it's within his rights. And absolutely, there's not going to be a lawsuit that follows this if a blind person were to get hurt or injured by a car in the drive-thru. When does it stop? Does it ever stop? I don't think it does. You know, I feel for this guy, but, you know, Jack in a Box is open 24 hours. I'm just saying. It is. Maybe there's not a Jack in a Box convenient for him within walking distance. I don't know. But to sue McDonald's for not allowing him to walk up to a drive-thru window in the middle of the night, how dangerous is that if you start allowing people to walk up to a drive-thru window? My goodness, especially at night. Folks, we're out of time, believe it or not. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a good day. Remember, hashtag Ray Nation Rising is coming.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the Blue Collar Professor, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Blue Collar Professor's Daily Podcast. Join us again next time as we take the liberals to school. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of the Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips, Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production.